to that, so we'll take it as it comes.
We all know that it's a tough time out there for electrical retailers, but nonetheless the public do seem to have an appetite for new technology and new gadgetry. DAB radio, that's digital audio broadcasting format, has been making great inroads in the UK. I've been finding out about its Irish prospects. Dusty Rhodes is an independent radio producer whose company, Digital Audio Productions, have been to the forefront in developing new services to exploit the digital technology.
Well, DAB stands for Digital Audio Broadcasting. It works very like an FM transmitter, actually. The advantage is an FM transmitter can only carry one radio station. A DAB transmitter, because it's digital and carries a digital signal, is able to carry up to 10 radio stations on the one transmitter. So it means if you have a DAB radio receiver, you've got an awful lot more radio stations to choose from.
Now, there has been a trial of digital running, and I know that you here in Digital Audio Productions have been involved in that.
Mm-hmm. We had two radio stations that we were taking part in the trial. One was called All 80s and the other one was called Mocha. 80s does what it says on the tin. Mocha was all R&B music and a nice kind of a mellow sound to listen out to. We've gone very specific with the radio stations we have that because we know from experience that it's niche radio services that really attract audiences. And my great belief is, like 80s for example, there's a number of radio stations that run 80s programs, but they're on a Friday night at 7 o'clock. You know, what if it's Wednesday afternoon and I fancy a little Wham or George Michael or whatever happens to be? The great thing about DAB is that you're able to provide niche services and you can get the kind of stuff when you want, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. RTE are able to apply for licenses directly to the government, whereas commercial operators have to go through the Broadcasting Commission of Ireland. Now, at the moment, RTE have applied for their license to broadcast on DAB and they've gone ahead and they're doing that. And they are broadcasting in Dublin and Cork and Limerick, and they are running 4 national radio stations that we know and love, 2FM and Radio 1 and so on. And they also have 5 radio services on there that are not available on FM. So you can get an oldies channel, there's a junior channel, there's 2 talk radio stations, and there's an alternative music station as well. And this is all brand new content to DAB. On the commercial side of things, for independent operators like myself, or for existing FM stations like Today FM or FM 104, we all have to apply via the BCI. And essentially, from my understanding, is that the BCI is waiting for the broadcasting bill to finish its path through the Dáil at the moment, and when it is, then they'll be on the case. One of the great things about radio is that it's a nice little box. It sits in the corner of the kitchen or the bedroom, and it gives you radio. In 15 or 20 years' time, I would imagine that all of the national radio services in Ireland are going to move to DAB exclusively, and they won't be on FM anymore. The advantage of doing that is that it will free up 2/3 of the FM spectrum in Ireland, just by taking the 6 national stations and putting them on DAB only. Now that's only 6 stations. We can handle 20 or 30 stations on DAB. So my vision is that in 15, 20 years' time, people who are in less urban areas who would have less choice of radio at the moment will suddenly have their local station, maybe a number of local services. They'll have the 6 national services that we know so far, and then they'll have maybe 10 or 15 other specialist niche services, one doing 80s, one doing R&B, one doing country, one doing classic rock, one doing a bit of jazz, and it's a fabulous choice of listening.
The launch of RTE's digital stations follows a highly successful cross-industry DAB trial broadcast period conducted over the past 2 years. Sarah, RTE have been running a trial DAB radio service since the beginning of 2007, I understand. Now it's gone on a permanent footing. What services are available to listeners?
Yeah, well, we have new services available on DAB now. There are 6 brand new services, as well as our 4 FM ones, which are RTE Radio 1, 2FM, Lyric and Radio na Gaeltachta. The 6 DAB stations we're very excited about. One of them that we're really, as a public service broadcaster, we're very excited about, the kids station, the RTE Junior. So that's a radio station for kids from 0 to 12 at different times of the day. It's programmed around a child's day. So at like 11 in the morning there are nursery rhymes for the younger kids who might be in creche or at home. In the evening there's like drive time, and then in the morning Louise Fox presents Pop Pop, which is like a kids' pop music show, so they can sing along to songs in the morning, like it could be, you know, Pink or whatever's in the charts for young younger kids.
And tell me about some of the other digital-only services that you've launched.
Yeah, so we also have a sister station to RTE Radio 1, Choice. It's RTE Choice. It's programmes from around the world. So we have NPR programmes. We've been doing a lot about the US election on it, or the inauguration at this stage. And we have BBC World programmes on it. And then there's also a lot of the kind of Radio 1 content that's on later in the evening or at weekends. Maybe that people don't get a chance to listen to it when they're actually on air. So they're on at different times that might suit people's schedules a bit better. So that's the speech station. 4 other services are music services. So 2FM has a sister station called 2XM. So it's kind of like 2FM's younger brother, and it kind of plays, it's really up-and-coming bands, and it's kind of discovering new bands. It's really pushing new Irish music. And then Pulse is a non-stop dance station, different kinds of dance at different times of the day. So during the day it's more commercial dance hits, so you could be listening to it when you're in the gym, or you could be listening to it when you're kind of running around hoovering the house. Or in the evening then it's more specific dance shows with different genres of dance. So like you get breakbeat music, every kind of dance music you can imagine. And then Chill, it's a late night service. It's just after 9 p.m. and it does what it says on the tin. It's just chill out.
Sarah, where can I access DAB radio in Ireland?
DAB radio is available in Ireland in the Greater Dublin area, Cork and Limerick. So if you go into any shop in those cities, you can buy a DAB radio like this one and start listening to those new stations straight away. In the UK, they've seen that DAB listenership has been growing gradually. Now they have about 12% listenership, whereas internet radio hasn't grown so fast. It's 1.9%. The difference is that DAB is free. You know, you don't need your internet subscription, and it's also portable. So you can have a pocket DAB radio, and it's cheap, free, easy to use, and it's a new way of having traditional radio.
While the number of digital radio sets in circulation is currently low, from the perspective of the retailers selling digital radios, it's an area with mixed results so far.
Started stocking DAB radios about 18 months ago, starting off with the DAB combination FM radios, going up then to internet radios combined with DAB, which seem to be actually the most popular of the combinations that we do.
How has DAB been received, and how quick and how well do you think its adoption is going?
Well, there's a perception out there that the quality of sound from it is going to be excellent, which it is. There's also a perception that there's going to be maybe a bigger range of channels available than there is. The UK channels, there are UK DAB channels, and people buying DAB radios in Ireland are thinking that perhaps they're able to pick up those channels. And you know, that's maybe something that needs to be addressed or clarified for people buying these radios going forward.
What type of formats of DAB would you like to see introduced? For example, they all seem to have a sort of retro 50s look about them. Do you think that there will be a demand for smaller portable devices, car radios? How do you see it evolving yourself?
Well, as I say, I mean, you know, I guess it's a better quality version of FM, and high quality sound is obviously desirable, but I think the combination units are the way to go. DAB on its own probably isn't enough. DAB with internet or DAB with something else is probably the way forward for it.
That's it for part 1. Join me in part 2. I'm here at the Guinness Storehouse to find out about the Guinness advertising campaign that celebrates 80 years running here in Ireland. See you soon.
For relevant local news on the hour, plus extended coverage of the day's events in the region, tune in to Channel South Extended News Update, every evening at 7 and 9. Politics, local government, environmental issues, health and farming. We'll be there to cover these important local issues as they happen. That's Channel South News Update, bringing you closer to what's happening in the South.
Why drive an ordinary family car when you can now drive the extraordinary Nissan X-Trail for the same price and get more space, more comfort, more style, more safety, more